Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, unfortunately, somebody leaked Sexy Red's sex tape some point last night. There's a lot of different ways to speculate about how that happened. People think she did it. She swears she didn't do it and feels heartbroken by it. Either way, it's not right. You shouldn't let someone do that to you if it's being allowed. Unless, well, allowing it is a whole nother story. That's a wrong thought. My thing is, it shouldn't be done. Not on IG, for one. And, people got to be careful who they allow into their circumference. Not everybody means you well. Not everybody especially if you're famous in this era of clout, you might want to have everybody you deal with sign NDAs so you keep yourself legal in circumstances like these. Because, it was a red flag last week for her when a dude uploaded a picture, a photo of him, not a photo, but a still or something of him next to her. Looked like the same day. Looked like the same day. Essentially saying that, he was smoking something and said more or less he knocked something out. He, in his mind, he had done a deed by sleeping with Sexy Red and wanted all of us to know it. Now, fast forward, it looked like the exact same night. From that night, whatever took place before that video is being shown to us. Now, y'all know I think that there's a bigger agenda behind her success. Kanye West just came out and said it was a bigger agenda behind Cardi B's success. And I just think it's aligned because it's exactly what I've been talking about. I don't know if this leak has something to do with that agenda, but I wouldn't doubt it probably is somewhere in that ballpark. The devaluing of African Americans by way of the devaluing of black women. I keep telling y'all, this is something that I see. Now, I don't know if this has something to do with that or if this is just a product of her life going a certain way while we're all able to see it, but I know it's being uploaded. You can go on all the publications, you're going to find that video, even though she took it down. For whatever reason, her legal team hasn't put a stay on that video. See, when they want to protect your image, videos like that, they get taken down from the internet, wiped everywhere. You can't find it. But when they want to keep your image looking bad, stuff like this happens where you wake up in the morning, something was leaked last night, and you still see it the next morning. I'm not confused by that at all. Her image is not being protected, and I don't think that's by mistake. Now, again, if she leaked this herself, or if her team leaked this as a means of publicity, it wouldn't be the first time. We've seen this a million times. That ain't new. But the fact of the matter is, she's saying she didn't leak it. There's probably over $70 million behind her marketing, because clearly she's everywhere next to everybody, but her image is not being protected because it's on brand. So they're probably looking at it like, oh, this is cool, this would be good for your image, but she's not happy with it. Allegedly, she's not saying that she wanted this out there. So something's got to give. Either she's lying about not wanting it out there, or she's being exploited further, because y'all know I already think she's being exploited. Every time she opens her mouth, she's being exploited. Every time you see her face, she's looking like she's being exploited. And I always say it's because I believe she's a part of this agenda, or rather not the agenda, but the motioning of the agenda. She is a subject of the agenda of destroying the value of black women. It's a lot of them out there who are being paid to look this way. Every time they open their mouth, they say something ignorant, something that would devalue themselves and others that look like them, something that would paint a picture of who they are that most would not see as classy or cool, for whatever the word would be of the day. And I speak against it, and I've been speaking about it for a little bit now. I'm sorry that she was exposed this way unless this is what she wanted. I don't support what was done to her. If she is a victim, she needs to be protected. But those same people who are putting all that money into her in regards to promoting her should have protected her image the same way they would have protected someone else with a different image. Because this was too far, and regardless of whether you think it's okay or not for her to be seen this way, you would not have allowed your daughters to be seen this way. But you would allow mine though, right? This is why I want us to skip past the subjects and look at the people who are investing in this, because they are the ones who have the understanding, the full circumference of understanding of how this plays out for not only her, but for the image of all who look like her. It speaks to the family structure that raised her or didn't. And they want to promote that to anybody and everybody who may understand her and where she's coming from and who don't. I heard her say something 2 days ago. She said on an interview that she wants her baby daddy to stay in jail because he's safer in jail than he is out here, because he's in the streets, allegedly, she said. And there are people who are going to understand that, because it can be a lot more dangerous in an outside structure when certain people involve certain stuff. That is understood, but it's not the point. It's those who don't understand it who are going to be listening to it and judging her and everybody else because of it. It's not about understanding. It's about painting her out to be somebody that doesn't have any morals, doesn't have a forward thinking in regards to how best to choose good men, and how that's supposed to be suggestive in nature. 2 days later, we're seeing more of the same, which would look like bad decision making in choosing men. That's what it looks like. It looks like a dude uploaded their sex tape against her will. And what are we supposed to think of that? She's just a horrible decision maker, a ratchet, so to speak. And anybody who looks like her is going to be treated a certain way because of that suggestion. This is what I'm tired again of. If you want her to be represented and people who are like her to be represented, that's cool. But could we paint it in a light that helps her learn how not to be seen that way, so she can walk into certain rooms and not be treated poorly, like she was when that man walked right past her photo shoot and didn't give one damn? Do y'all remember that? That happened about 2 months ago. She was sitting out there in a professional photo shoot and some white guy just walked right in front of it. He wouldn't have did that if she was somebody else. He wouldn't have did that if he respected her image. It's the treatment that I have a problem with, that comes after people start believing certain things about certain people. If you want to believe that there are people out there like that, of course there are. Every stereotype has a type that'll match that stereotype, which is why it's suggested in the first place. They're going to find people that match it. But you don't want everybody to be seen as a ratchet, and you don't want everybody to be seen as a part of a village that didn't save a ratchet, which is what they're trying to suggest about all of us. That we don't care enough about one another to help one another, when the reality is we're not in a position to often reach one another because we're not all connected like that. But do you think those who don't understand us, who are seeing this crap, know that? In a lot of cases, they don't. They say they, and refer to everybody who holds the skin color, everybody who looks that way. And for me, I'm not confused, because they're always trying to paint us out and you out and anybody in your group out to be something that we're supposed to be able to blanketly label, a stereotype, generalize, and ultimately wipe away any other suggestion of you being better than those images. And I'm tired of it. It pertains to the group that I'm a part of. I'm tired of it because we've been dealing with it in this country for as long as we've been here. Sambos and all types of other stuff that suggests that we don't have a thought in our head that's greater, or a frequency of our mind that is higher. I am tired of that. And it seems like it's just ramping up into a worse way. And I don't know where it ends or begins in regards to what it is that's starting this. I personally don't know what to think of of the root of it as it pertains to why it feels like it's been turned up over the last 4 years. I don't trust the misdirection of half the stuff that I see or hear. It seems like things that are supposed to be pro-black were manipulated into being things that were bad culture, like Black Lives Matter. And it seems like this is just another reaction to that energy for which a lot of people resent it. But then again, I think that movement was probably part of the same thing. It was a part of lifting us up to tear us down in a very intricate way. I don't trust any of it anymore. All I trust is what it is that I'm saying and praying in regards to about it. And what I'm praying about is that the Lord will help me see how to suggest something better and how to help others see the misdirection and confusion that's been in our country for a while. And here we are with another election, and here we are up in arms about something in regards to our race, and we keep talking about it. Every time there's an election coming around, there's something really, really major that is suggested, really intricate, that is suggested by way of the entertainment business that tries to tell us who we are and who everyone else is around us so we can feel a certain way about it. And then you see these demonstrations or occurrences that ultimately get us rowdy. And then you see the riots and the things that come about it. But did we not forget? Did we forget rather that during some of those quote unquote riots, there were people who were planting things in certain places for people to use to riot with? Did we forget that there were bricks put in the street, placed directly in front of certain buildings? Them bricks were not just brought there by the people who were rioting, they were placed there by somebody who wanted them there. Tools used to destroy the property that ultimately people would blame others for destroying. And who was it actually that was destroying that property? Was it who they say it was, or was it someone else? I feel the same way about the comment sections when I read certain things. People say, oh, we black folks, oh, us white folks, and we think they're often not real accounts. So who's actually behind them? The misdirection is what it is that I talk about. It's the suggestion of who is around you that I resent, that I feel is a wickedness that's amongst us, and I don't know where it's coming from, and I don't think most do. But I'm smart enough to see that all of this is connected in some way, and it's all leading up to something. And I'm not going to be surprised when it does. As I told y'all, I believe that someone, an evil entity with a whole lot of power and influence, wants to destroy our country from the inside out. And the best way they know how to do that is to get us riled up about race, get us confused about who's around us, and ultimately make us less compassionate about one another. So we don't look to help a Sexy Red or demand that her image be protected like we would, say, a Taylor Swift. Do you think this would happen with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Hell no, it would not. Last night, every publication that ever talks to us told us that Dame Lillard and his wife are having a divorce. Why the hell am I supposed to know that, other than for the suggestion that a black family that's wealthy is being broken up? Well, I mean, it's not deeper than that, man. And I'm telling y'all, every bit of what I've been saying in these therapy sessions, it's not just a happenstance that a lot of this stuff is happening when it's happening. They want people to think of certain people a certain way, and a lot of that suggestion is not necessary. But a lot of people don't know of others, so they're going to believe these suggestions and just walk away saying, yep, that's how they are, and yep, that's how we are. And we walk away saying, yep, you don't like us or you hate us because you think we're this way, and maybe we are this way, and we just walk away thinking all these different things about people we never have conversations about, generalizing one another and suggesting it with these suggestions. And I just know better, man. I know better. Someone's stirring the pot to make us hate one another, to make us love certain aspects of being disrespected, make us hate. Look in the mirror and think less of yourself so you behave that way. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? The suggestion of the chicken and the egg. That's what comes first, it seems. I'm over it. Chaos. Over it. So do I think Sexy Red leaked her own image? I don't think she would need to. I think they probably planted the person in her life that would do that to her. He was probably planted there. That's the problem. That's probably the root of it. Who is he? How the hell he get in her life when she's at the height of her career? A lot of times you look up and you realize a lot of the people that are being used in this way, they are young people. They don't know nothing about nothing that I'm talking about. They don't even know the first thing about the suggestion. They make sure that they find people who don't. You think they looking for people who understand this stuff and go put them in your face and plaster them all over the place? No, they're not. They're looking for people that don't know any better, who are too young to do anything about it, who are too young to protect their image properly, who are too young to say, yo, this is not good money that I'm taking for you to destroy our image and our people. This is not good money that I'm taking to continue to go about certain things a certain way. And just let it be okay because I'm getting money. No, this is a poor representation of our people and children are watching. This is a poor representation of myself and children are watching. No, we're not going to hear none of that. They're not going to do none of that because they're not wired to, and that is why they're chosen. Do I think Cardi B is an industry plant? Of course she was. And she can resent that all she wants, but she needs to wake up and understand that's not the offense. The offense is that they did it in the first place. Don't make it about you. Make it about those who invested in you, who want you to speak a certain way to certain people so that they can continue this process. And then when they come out with a sexy red, that's like another level up. And when they come out with the next one, that's going to be another level from there. It's just going to get worse. And you wasn't the first. I see Sukihana, she's trying to clean up her image. She's trying to show a higher frequency when she speaks, but when she does, she shows that she has a lot to learn. But I see her, she's trying. I think she's starting to get what people are suggesting to her. I think she's starting to resent the fact that maybe they did choose her just to look a certain way. And it's okay for her to be her, but it's not okay for them to invest in her with the suggestion in mind that everybody should be like her or is like her, or that no one should respect people like her because of her, or any of that should be okay. I think she's starting to see that. Slowly but surely, a lot of them probably are, because this message is getting out, and I ain't the only one saying it. And like I said, representation is important. But what are they doing? What do you have them doing is what I'm saying. Are you having them in circumstances where they can get better and heal, or reach a higher frequency, so to speak? Learn these lessons in public for us to see? Or are you trying to let them be their worst for everyone to see, investing into the highest order? They sit back like it's okay. Have them twerking on the red carpets and doing all types of stuff that ain't gonna let nobody respect it. And as they grow out of this, they ain't gonna be respected. I'm looking at Black China go through something like that right now. Albeit she's trying to get custody of her children and all of this and that. I don't know if she should, based on who she was when that whole situation went down, but I don't know the specifics of her circumstances. That's just a surface conversation around her. That's a surface conversation around her. The reality is she's made an entire transformation from being who she was when she wasn't, in a space to be mature enough to know of her image and how it's to be respected, didn't have the higher frequency of a higher power in her life, trying to do all different types of stuff to make herself feel good that made her look worse. If she has grown up, that's all it is, grown up, realized who she wants to be, going with that image, and now she's taking on the results of being treated the way she used to be, because people don't accept change in that way. You don't get to grow up. You got to stay the way that we saw you, which is another problem with this, because Sexy Red's going to grow up, Sukihana's going to grow up, and they're still going to be treated like they are today. Still going to be treated like they going to be that person tomorrow, and this is what we talking about. I know 20-year-olds grow up. I know people have children don't stay doing the ratchet stuff they used to do. I know gangsters grow up and realize the circumstances of everybody around them going to jail or dying. They don't want to do that forever. Rarely do you see a 65-year-old man who wants to still do the stuff he was doing at 25. Where do you see a 65-year-old woman trying to do the stuff that she used to do at 22? It's not how this works, but they're going to treat you like you that forever, because that's what they plaster in our faces for you to be, and to suggest of others the same thing. You don't get to grow in our faces. They don't want you to grow up. They don't want to suggest higher power energy toward you, or something that's going to make you see where you're going wrong, just like they would want for their children. They don't want that. They want you to suggest to us that this is all there ever will be for you and anyone else that look like you. And that, my friend, is why a Cardi B should hate that. She should not be mad at people calling her an industry plant. She should be coming out and trying to do everything she can from behind that curtain to let people know what it is that's really going on. And I believe some of these people, since they are not respected at all, are probably being abused. Sexy Red, this is abuse. You are taking on abuse. And I'm not speaking on anything other than what I'm seeing on that camera when your stuff is uploaded and ain't wiped from the internet overnight. It's abuse. You probably have someone to sue, and that is the truth. I speculate about everything I'm saying, but I ain't saying this from a place of just emptiness. We've been having conversations like this. We've been piling up the documentation of these type of events for 3 years on this channel. Y'all know how this has been building up based on how I see it. And it's only getting worse. Protect your image, protect black image, protect white image, protect everybody's image, because at the end of the day, there's someone trying to stir up the pot to suggest to me who you are, to suggest to you who I am, and we are not to trust it, because they ain't telling us who they are. That's the point. They want to do all of this from behind the curtain. They want to do all this from behind fake accounts, no different than the Hedgies and the AMC GME nonsense. It's the same energy. Believe it or not, it's the same energy. Always behind a fake account, trying to suggest some nonsense that we're supposed to agree to that doesn't make us better at all. They ain't never gonna stamp their name on it. They ain't never gonna say, this is me, I'm a real account, and this is what we think. No, they're always gonna do it from a fake account. So look for those accounts before believing what you see. Find out who is telling you what about you and me. And if you can't come to the conclusion about it, then you need to have a conversation with me to find out what it is that you want to know. And if you're not willing to communicate, don't think you know. A lot of us don't read energy very well, so we just walk away thinking certain people are our enemies. These people aren't your enemies. You don't know who is actually suggesting to you that of who that is. The image and the understanding of who that is. That's not them representing themselves. That's the point in a lot of these cases. And they know they're going to be able to find people who don't know no better from places that have never heard of such things, and they're going to be able to exploit them just the same. Another Sexy Red, another Sukiyana, another Cardi B. It's going to keep coming. They're going to always find somebody in the dumps who needs $1, who don't know no better, who ain't going to care, frequency low, hurt in their life, and they're going to be evil just off the strength of that. And they're going to be easy to use. They ain't going to care about nothing but views. That's all they've been taught. That's all that's been suggested to them in the culture that's been stirred by you, whoever you are. We not confused here, though. Money ain't our God. See, I know God. I know Him. That's why I feel so confident to speak this way. That's why I'm not looking for views and all this. Why everybody else around me spinning around like a damn top trying to find them. I know better, because I know what's going to age well, and what's ages well is higher frequency. What ages well is what's going to keep us going as a country, what's going to keep us going as a nation, and what's not going to destroy us. That's what's going to be what ages well. Something that'll save us from this inner self-destructive thing that's going on here. I tell y'all, man, we need to look for something better. We need to find ways of communicating with one another without the suggestion of whatever is being told about us, about others, to us about others, rather. We need to find some way to get them out of the way, so we can find out what's really truth amongst one another, so we can really find a testimony of what God is doing in one another's lives. Because that's what they're trying to keep us from believing in. Each other and God. They want to keep us from believing in the power of somebody who may be a ratchet giving me something that can help me survive my life, and maybe the suggestion that I should be able to share with them a way for them to help their lives. This is what we need to be doing amongst one another. We are moving forward. You don't know who you're going to be sharing a grandchild with tomorrow. This is why we need to know one another better. You don't know who's going to be your great-great-granddaughter someday. It may be the same people you think or whatever. Because this thing keeps spinning. And I'm telling you, since a lot of people believe that money is their God, they're going to continue to try to keep certain people from it. They're going to continue to try to keep that wealth gap really, really large because they don't know how to live without doing so. But I'm telling you, there's something deeper going on here than what it is that they're trying to do. Their agenda ain't the only thing going on in this room. People got to be able to have substance in their lives. People got to be able to survive changing times. And a lot of that stuff is not controlled. You don't know how hot the temperature's going to be 50 years from now. How are you going to survive that? These are the conversations we need to learn how to have. How are we going to survive circumstances when enemies invade your country or what have you? You don't know what's coming. And the people who are suggesting all this nonsense probably don't either. Leadership ain't leadership, man. It's just people who aren't wise enough to think past their noses and past their own agendas in a lot of cases, with a lot of power and a lot of hatred. So that's it, man. Everything else is just, I'm suggesting people to pray. If you believe in something greater than yourself, speak to that after listening to this video. Pray for Sexy Red. Pray for Cardi B. Pray for the people who don't know any better than to look at that and say, that's everybody. Pray for those behind the curtain, too, because they got bad karma coming their way for doing what it is that they do. Pray for that dude that uploaded that video if that's what he did. And pray for the people who planted him there if that's what happened. Because they got bad karma coming their way, too. And for those who don't believe in karma, I'm living it. What's proven doesn't have to be even discussed in certain cases. It's already proven in my life. It's like God is. That's why I feel so confident in telling y'all to guard against it. Spiritual energy and stuff like that, it's already been proven in my life. I don't have to wonder or search or none of that. It's what powers me to speak so boldly in this way, because I know it exists. And that's why I know it's something more going on in the room than what it is that those who are trying to stir this up are doing. They don't see every angle themselves. But we need to be able to at least understand that there's something greater than what it is they're trying to do to us here. Protect your image. Protect that of your people's respect. Don't allow yourself to be seen as ratchet, hateful. Don't allow yourself to be seen as anything other than what it is that you truly believe is right for yourself. Truly you believe is right for your family and your name. I don't care what color you are, what walk of life you're from. If you engage in hatred, it only blows back on your family and your name and your respect. And when you go in certain places, you are less safe because of it. It is that simple. And everything else is just bad culture, man. Everything else is just simply bad culture. So that's what I have to say, man. That is my therapy session for this morning. I feel for anybody that doesn't understand that there's something greater than what it is that we're seeing on the internet. That there's something real that you can find in everybody, both the most respectful and the most ratchet or whatever. You can find something good in a lot of people. You can learn something from the experiences of people that you do not know. And if you allow yourself to not have conversations with those people because of what is being suggested to you on the internet, you're going to miss out on something that's good for your soul. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.